How's it going, everyone? It's Vivi and welcome back to some more Spyro. So these past couple of days what I tried to do is I watched a bunch of different interviews, went over a bunch of different articles, and I tried gathering as much information as I could. You've read the title. Yes, I'm gonna try and go over everything that we've learned so far on the Reignited Trilogy. Now before I get into this video, well, the main point of the video I mean, let's go over this. The Spyro account on Twitter shared a picture of Nasty Nork. Now, is this the third reveal? First reveal? Well, the first one was the portrait, and then we got the cover art. So is this our third glimpse? I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, the thing is, this is in-game. We see an in-game model for the very first time since the announcement. So, the first thing I notice in this one is the background. Does this take place in the intro cutscene? Like, is this a screenshot from that moment, or is this during the boss battle, when you enter the arena, the area? I'm gonna go on ahead and say this is during the boss battle, when you encounter him. Look at the back. You see a bit of the skybox with a lot more details in the back. Rocks, pipes. So I don't think this is during the intro cutscene. I mean, the thing is, we do know that Toys for Bob is adding a lot more detail to things, so this could maybe be part of the intro scene. I could be mistaken, but I really love the lighting, the purple in the back, the horns coming out, the crystal on his staff, those claw marks on his neck. This time it looks like they gave him something to wear around the waist. In the original one, it was just green, polygons. And looking at these two, they really are paying close attention to what the body proportions were before, and looking at his face, he does look a lot more menacing. Toys for Bob is adding that factor to the villains. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Ripto in this cover art, but yeah, you do notice a difference. Other than that, I mean, what am I gonna say? This looks fantastic. So let's move on to the main point of the video. So unfortunately, we didn't get anything on Spyro 2 and 3. I'll probably make a separate video covering that topic. But for now, let's focus on what was shown since E3. They said, Toys for Bob, that the Reignited Trilogy has over 100 levels. If you do the math, the original, it comes up to a total of 88 levels. That's just counting the realms, not the homeworlds. Now, I'm not too sure if Toys for Bob included the homeworlds as levels. I'm just counting the realms here. On top of that, a bunch of people have questioned Toys for Bob, hey, are you guys going to consider additional content? Remember the article from Game Informer? That screenshot where it mentioned new orb challenges? So with that in mind, people have been wondering, okay, is this going to have additional content like Insane Trilogy? Toys for Bob didn't deny it. They felt as if it's more of a surprise they're yet to reveal. So guys, be patient, we could get some new things in the future. They said also that the game has over 400 characters. If you want to try and guess if that means there's going to be extra characters or something like that, go ahead. At E3 there were two playable demos, Treetops and Toasty. As for Sunny Flight, from what I've seen, it was only exclusive to a few, I guess, VIP members? That's what it looked like to me. The trilogy has been rebuilt from the ground up on the Unreal Engine 4, all from scratch. They did not have access to the original source material. Insomniac Games did lose a bunch of data. It's the same situation as Insane Trilogy. They did talk to Insomniac Games themselves. They went to their studio to show what they were working on. Spyro's coming out on its 20th anniversary. I think we're all aware of that information by now. Now, stuff that were limitations in the original, Toys for Bob explained they wanted to amp them up. For example, the dragon cutscenes. Not only in terms of animation, but their designs. They want the dragons to match their respective homeworlds. Be it a painter, a barista, a sculptor. We haven't seen all the dragons yet. As for the script, they wanted it to be 100% the same. But I did notice a minor tweak, for example, the line in Toasty, where you have Nevin saying Toasty instead of boss. Toys for Bob made sure that when people pick up the controller, they hoped that their muscle memory would come back. And it did, from what I've seen, people playing the demos. Now, Toys for Bob, they're known for creating Spyro and Skylanders. Some people asked them about Easter eggs. They didn't mention any Easter eggs. They just went on and said Spyro. Classic Spyro is like an entirely different Spyro. Of course, they dealt with Skylanders for years. So they are treating Spyro as a non-Skylander Spyro, if you understand what I mean. The voice actor. We all know Tom Kenny, who voiced Spyro in 2 and 3, is now voicing him for all 3 games. Greg Berger also confirmed to return, known as the voice of Hunter, Ripto, and Fisher. Next thing. Fan feedback has been tremendous, as I mentioned in my previous analysis video. They did take into account bugs that us fans may know about. They did also mention speedrunners, that they want them to have an authentic experience. As for the music, it's remastered from the original score. All of the instrumentation and transcription, piece by piece. The music's dynamic to gameplay. From what I've been reading, not everyone is a fan of that. And an example of their dynamic music they talk about, entering interiors. Music becomes more ambient. Toasty's battle, for example. The drums you used to hear in the original, they took it out and put it when you face Toasty. Toys for Bob went on and said it's the same music you remember. I doubt, because why Treetops sounds different. Like really different. Also, they said when you charge or run, they added these subtle drum beats. As for additional playable characters, or character, no word on it. They haven't denied it. They pretty much said, we'll see how it goes. I mean, Insane Trilogy, looking at it, we had Coco playable, so I'm guessing people considered, oh, maybe Spyro could have the same thing. Also, no word on the Switch version. It also hasn't been denied, but every time the question was brought up, they said, we're not gonna talk about that today. So guys, for those of you wondering about the Switch version, I think they're gonna release it, but not now. They talked about autosave, pretty much confirmed it. As for the camera controls, you can now use the right analog stick to control it. According to Teal Game Master, who played the demo, he said that the L2 button did nothing. But this is from a demo. I tried looking for more information. I discovered that yes, you can revert to the old camera controls using the shoulder buttons, aka L2 and R2. This was confirmed by both Peter Kavik and producer Sue Static. People have been saying that R2 has been assigned to Flame. Either this was for demo purposes, or if you're not using L2 and R2 for the camera, if you decide to use the right analog stick, you'll have the option to use circle or R2 to use fire. But can you just use circle? Yes, you can. Any female dragons? This question was also brought up. They replied by saying, I want to leave some surprises. This was actually said from senior producer Peter Kavik. So what would you say about his quote? I want to leave some surprises. Oh boy, the next one. Censorship at Twilight Harbor. The guns, which to me it did look like Insomniac Games had added guns, they got replaced by what seemed to look like paintballs. Or as Jordan Fringe said it, Splatoon. Jordan Fringe recorded like this small segment where they had these monitors and we had a glimpse of Twilight Harbor. The guns have been replaced. Well, the bullets. Toys for Bob said the following when this subject was brought up. It's not like the interviewer questioned him and told, hey, why'd you guys censor it? They haven't said anything like that. They just said, oh, I guess you guys wanted to make it more kid-friendly. We noticed that you replaced the bullets with paintballs. That's what they said during the interview. Toys for Bob said, overall, we want to respect the core that the kid is going on an adventure when playing Spyro. They said replacing the bullets was a safe thing to do. It respected the story itself. I watched a bunch of videos from different people covering this topic, why they think it's unnecessary, why they do that. I mean, I'm with them. If you think bullets are not kid-friendly, why not just put lasers instead? Maybe you guys have compared Spyro to Ratchet & Clank. Ratchet & Clank being a kid-friendly game. I mean, that's the main target for the series, right? But Ratchet & Clank, Insomniac Games, comparing them to Toys for Bob, they made Skylanders. So was this ultimately Sony's decision or Activision themselves? I mean, primarily if they were to censor this, if they were given the order to change the guns, the bullets, it must have been from Activision since it's their IP. I'm not going to talk about the whole political thing right now, I'm not going to dive into that, but I do understand the frustration you guys have. Hold up, you have Spyro breathing fire on dogs and people, right? Look at Pinstripe from Crash. Yeah, they did alter it a bit, but you can still feel the essence of the old being present. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Anywho, let's move on to the next point. Spyro's roll move, which was only present in the first game, has been confirmed for all 3 games. This was explained by Paul Yan, co-studio executive at Toys for Bob. Also, talking about unification, fast travel for all 3 games as well. Falling in water in the first game now has the same animation from 2 and 3. As for the rating of the game, they posted a short footage of Misty Bog, well, technically, our first look at Bubba. Right when the clip starts, there's rated E10 and up. And looking at Bubba, I love his design. The hashtag they used is absolutely hilarious. Hubba Bubba. People have been saying, oh, this dude sounds like Darren DePaul. Bubba was originally voiced by Clancy Brown. Now, the voice actor for Bubba hasn't been confirmed, we're just guessing. And guys, I think, with that being said, I mean, we're just looking at the first game still. I think that's pretty much what we know so far. So yeah, with that being said guys, if I did forget anything, don't be shy, just mention it in the comment section below. And yep, I've been Vivi, and thank you so much for watching.